Hey guys, happy Valentine's Day. I wanted to drop into your mailbox today and just say hello, and also to let you know that I will be doing another stencil giveaway this year, or at least probably a couple times this year. Hopefully, I'll have more stencils coming out this year, but I have a new stencil line coming out on the 18th of March. And so I thought I would give you all, my current subscribers, a chance to get in early. I'm going to be announcing the giveaway on the 18th of March, or excuse me, of February. So everyone else will have a full month. But I thought if you guys got in early before that time, I can kind of separate you, because when you sign up for these raffles, it kind of timestamps everything. And so I thought I'd give my current subscribers a chance to actually enter twice. So if you guys get in early, I will put your name in twice for the raffle. I'll do a separate raffle for just people that have signed up before the 18th of February. And then I'll also then stick your name in with everybody else. But you do not need to sign up twice. Like I said, everything's time stamped, and I can see when you signed up for the raffle, and I should be able to pop your name in there twice and it won't be a problem. Okay, so I did want to take a chance to just show you some of the new stencils. So here they are. Okay, so here's a sneak peek. This one here is actually an Irish symbol. And this was the last one to go in. I had a bunch that kind of duplicated a little bit because I would go large and a little small, and Joggles did not think that they would sell because they were a little too similar. So I had put this one in last, and it was one that I actually had designed over the summer when I was doing a lot of the repeated patterns. When I came out with that one line that had a lot of floral repeats, I had done a few other type of repetitions, and I just really like this symbol. It's an Irish symbol called a Triskelly or something like that. But I just found it made a really cool repeat pattern. Here's just some of the prints I did with it, in different colors. Kind of simple. I don't go crazy when I start testing them out. I had also put them in some of my cardboard books. This one turned out really pretty. It's really subtle. And then I went in and just outlined it a little bit. I took the stencil and put it back down, lined it up, and just put a real thin line of pencil around the edges of it because it was very faint, and I started doodling in it, but I haven't finished. So that's one. And then another is this guy, which I'm trying to remember what the name of it is. I believe this one's called Fit Me In. I think it's because I put a bunch of little guys. It came from another, I had actually had another piece of paper lying around that I had cut out a bunch of these shapes, and I had it sitting there. I was like, oh, that could make a really nice stencil. So I went in and tried to make a stencil out of it. So this one's called Fit Me In. It's kind of fun. It's kind of modern. And then going off of that modern feel, I feel like this next one kind of fits with that. This is called Looky Loo. I feel like these look like little eyeballs. But these, I made this one, believe it or not, coming from the Frame-It. Like, I took part of the Frame-It, I blew it up real big, and then within each frame I tried to draw a little circle. I rounded the corners and made circles, and then put another circle inside. So they do kind of feed, some of them really do feed off of each other. So the Frame-It, I've been showing this recently on Instagram. I love this. It looks so simple. However, it is a lot of fun to kind of challenge yourself with, because once you have all these little squares, if you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go in and doodle in one of these squares a day, or do something like that, it just kind of sparks your creativity a little bit. I have it in here a couple of times. Here's one I did. And I just went in and, drew in all of these little flower type designs. And then, of course, I did it again, and I did these types of flowers, just kind of like a quick flower. And then I went in and outlined it in white, and then added some pen work. And It's just, I feel like it leads to a lot more than it looks. So that was that one. And then this one is another one that I've had laying around. I actually had made a stamp, almost a texture stamp with this. Let's see if I can find it. Here are a couple of them. I had kind of made a bunch of these texture stamps a long time ago. These are really old and cracking, and this is very similar to this stencil. I'm just calling it mesh. It reminds me of the mesh on my old, I guess I have like old 50s outdoor furniture, and it's kind of like this. Maybe from the 70s or the, you know, anywhere in between the 50s and the 70s. I just repaint it every year, but that's the kind of mesh that, you know, puts the seat together. So that's another one. And then this is called One Liner because it's all one line. And I told you guys a little bit about this one in my last newsletter. I showed you the progression of it through some sketches. And so I do use this a lot as well in my book that I just had. Here's what I did with one liner. I just take my board books and slap it right down onto the gel plate, and so I get different prints, and then I go in and, you know, do my Zen doodle or Zen tangle inside them. So that is that one. This one's called Loop De Loop for obvious reasons. And that's how it prints out. I have a couple little printed out ones. But again, it's a lot of fun. And this one you can always cut off and just use one strip here or there. I do like ones where I have done stems. I have another one similar that I'll show you in a sec that I would recommend cutting them apart and just maybe using one here or there in your printing or just stenciling over top. So, and then comes the rounded cornered ones. These, this one I'm calling bubble toes. So they look like toes to me. They came, and again, I think I showed this in my last email, how they came about from something like this. I kind of took each of these loops and then extended them and made them into these guys. And then from there, this kind of just took off these little shapes. I did this other one. This used to be smaller, and joggles again. They're awesome, by the way. Joggles, I'm not saying anything negative. It's just she had suggested making it bigger. It was smaller, and it looked a little bit too similar to this. And so I enlarged part of it, and man, do I love it. It really turned out really cool. And these are the prints I made from it. I'm dying to go in there and play around and doodle on these. And then from that, when I did this burst, it's very similar to this same style. You know, it's a lot of the same kind of lines. I went in and just rounded corners. So, and this makes a really lovely design. I have to say this is probably my favorite. This one's called Bursting. I don't know if I said with this one. This one was called Totem, and then I know I told you Bubble Toes. So that's it. I am excited about this line. It just sort of, it's kind of a little bit random, it looks like, but believe it or not, they all kind of go together. There are a few, like the Triskel-y, or I'm not sure how to say it. Somebody's going to correct me, but got to put in there. But so anyway, they will be out hopefully March 18th. Thanks, guys. Or not March. Yeah, March 18th. All right, take care.